Hello, it's Andrea. Technically, Mondays are my day off, so I can't guarantee Monday videos, even late Monday videos. But there was actually something I wanted to talk about. Since it's my day off, it's not political, although I do think it has societal ramifications. It's it's a thing I do in my life, and today when I went to the grocery store was pretty representative of this. I was in the grocery store maybe 20 or 25 minutes. During that time, I had two little children show me their treasures. I had the guy at the butcher tell me about his upcoming vacation and his retirement plans. And I had a new manager tell me how she was working her way around the store to learn all the different skill sets. This is a fairly typical experience for me, and it has to do with my life philosophy. And it's a philosophy that I developed when I had children. I had told someone that I had quite possibly the worst 2 and 4 year old in the entire world and that they made my life a living hell. And he looked at me and he said, "Do you ever catch them being good?" Which was a shocking question because, of course, they were never good. And he explained to me that all children want is parental attention. We've all seen it with kids. Look at me, mommy, look at me, watch me, watch me. And so we tend to focus when they demand it. But when they don't demand it, we often tend to give them the attention they want for tasks. Just here's your food, change your clothes, let's go. So we're just aware of them as things we drag along in our wake, or we give them attention, very focused attention, when they're bad. And what he explained to me is we need to give them focused attention, not when they're showing off and not when we're just trying to get them to do something, but when they have done something good, no matter how small. I thought he was crazy because my kids were never good, but I started it slow and small. Good for you, you didn't hit your sister. Good for you, you made less mess when you ate. After a couple of weeks, it became much easier. Because I am a word person, it also reframed my own reality when I looked at my children, because suddenly what I was making for myself was a reality in which my children were good children. They are in their late 20s now, and they still call me to have me catch them being good, to tell me about their triumphs in life, their social experiences. They enjoy my company because I see them. As this man said, 75% of what comes out of your mouth when you are catching your children in some act should be positive. Where my secondary, it works. I preach the gospel of catch them being good to everybody. The other thing I preach is opinionated, but not judgmental. It's the difference between saying your friend so and so is trouble versus saying it's great that you're friends with so and so, but I worry that you're at risk with that person, and helping your teenager understand that you can like someone and still they not be good company for you and things like that. And and telling teenagers things without euphemisms and stuff, being straight with teens. I loved the teen years. I adored having teens. But anyway, I'm digressing. Mom talk. The larger point is that I realized that if I can catch my children being good and change how I view my own reality, I can do the same thing with the world around me. And so I started catching other people being good. The store clerk, the butcher, the nurse who assists me at an appointment or whatever. And not only did it reframe my reality as to the world around me, but what was very, very interesting, and this is where I'm going with this, is that people responded magically to feeling that they were being seen. Humans are social animals. I just sent my daughter, who has a new baby, a video it turned out she'd already seen, explaining how people got children to survive in prehistoric and pre-modern times, because human babies are the most fragile babies in the world. The trade-off for the big brain is that we're born completely uncooked. I think the video said with only 25% of our full human brain. Other primates are born with 45% of their full human brain. They're able to cling to run or cling to a parent, and human babies are helpless, and helpless for a very long time. And what the video points out is that you have to have a community. It was Hillary's famous takes a village, but it was a real village. Because if there's a baby lying around untended screaming, that's how predators, both animal and human, come to the village and start killing. So the entire village was on board, carrying the baby, feeding the baby, comforting the baby, because it was about the village's survival, both through procreation, having more villagers, and not being vulnerable to predators. We are hardwired to be social animals as a necessity of survival. The problem with our modern lives is that they are very unsocial, to the point of being antisocial. People can go through days without any human contact. And one of the things in these videos about China that I've been watching that are so fascinating are these young women who talk about having no friends and never having any contact with another human being. They buy everything online. Deliveries are just dropped off in the lobbies of their building. When they go to the hospital, as a video I posted at the site yesterday showed, all the interactions are with a few very rude people and machinery. It is the denial of humans' social nature. So, and even in America, we're not as bad as China, but a lot of what we do is anti-human. Our kids don't talk to people. They're on their phones. They're playing video games. And one of the things I try to do is not just catch people being good, but to let them know I see them. In an atomized world, in a siloed world, in a world that the left has made intersectional, where everybody is everybody else's enemy, as we all try to get the finite government pie, I see people. I asked the woman, this was several years ago at Walmart, how her day was, and she and I started chit-chatting, and I learned that her daughter had had a stroke, and this was her last day at work. And this was a woman who was in her high 70s, who was going to have to leave work and travel up to the Northeast to take care of her disabled daughter. And I saw her. I talked to her. I made her last day a day of human contact instead of just, how can I help you, ma'am? Thank you for being a Walmart customer. I can't tell you how important I feel this is. And I know I sound like Pollyanna. For younger people, Pollyanna was a novel from, I believe, 1910 about an orphan who had a happy game where she learned to find happiness in every situation and changed the town and brought happiness to people. On the one hand, it's very saccharine. On the other hand, as psychologists have pointed out, it was a very healthy coping mechanism for a girl in an utterly awful situation. She caught the world being good and helped others do the same. So it truly does take a village to raise a family. It takes a village for human emotional survival, for human practical survival. Our governments have made sure we're not villages. We're in huge communities where we don't need to know anybody or speak to anybody or approve of anybody. And I truly believe that each of us has a responsibility to change that. Next time you go somewhere, when that clerk, you get to the checkout line and they say, hello, how are you? Say to them, I'm fine. How are you? Did you have a good day? You will be amazed at the way people brighten. Their shoulders go back, their heads go up, they smile. And I truly believe everybody has something interesting to tell you, at least if you catch them being good. So this is my Pollyanna moment. For once, I really am ending on a cheerful note. And as always, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I catch all of you being good because you've paid me a great compliment.